All right, welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to cover a video from the channel Old School B-Ball. Um, got 400K subs. I'm assuming this is going to be pretty good. I have not watched it. It is about 30 minutes long, and it's covering the Jordan and Pippen feud. So if you like the video, go support their channel, and this should be interesting. It's going to be a long vid. I'll probably break it up into two parts. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's check this out together, everybody. And thanks for watching as always. Here we go.
Played probably just as poorly as anybody on our ball club. It was an ugly game for us. Nobody shot the ball well. We've already gave ourselves names in the locker room. I'm doo-doo, he's shit.
I don't remember this. What year was this?
I'm about to leave after that one.
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are two of the most iconic names in basketball history. They were the backbone of the Chicago Bulls team that won 6 NBA championships in the 90s.
Yeah,
Jordan is widely
punch.
considered the greatest basketball player of all time, while Pippen is often regarded as one of the best small forwards as well as the best sidekick in NBA history. But despite their shared success on the court, their relationship wasn't always smooth sailing. They went from being close allies to becoming bitter adversaries. In today's Old School B-Ball video, we'll explore the complex relationship between Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. We'll delve into the highs and lows of their friendship over the years and
Man, this is gonna start out so high and so optimistic and end so dark. If he actually covers everything, this is gonna be actually kind of difficult for me because I on this, and I loved Pippen. I still love Pippen as a player, as a person. Man, I have some serious doubts about this man now.
the factors that contributed to its eventual breakdown. Get ready to uncover the fascinating story of two of the greatest basketball players of all time and the complicated bond that they shared.
Yeah, sorry, Shaq and Kobe, but this was the best 1-2 punch of all time. Shaq and Kobe might have had more talent, more natural skill, but these guys were hungrier, man.
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen's relationship goes back to the late 80s when Pippen was drafted by the Chicago Bulls. Pippen was a raw talent with amazing athleticism, but he needed guidance. No one looked at Pippen as being the next great player, but a solid role player who could do some good things on the floor with his ability.
I mean, he was hungry and he wanted to beat a man, but he ended up playing with Michael Jordan, so he just soaked it up from MJ. And little known tidbit, Phil Jackson used to have them always guard each other. They weren't playing on the same team on practice. They were guarding each other, and that's also what made them both such amazing defenders. That was their daily assignment, especially Pippen. He had to shut down the greatest offensive player of all time. Like, that's a hell of a daily assignment.
By the time Pippen arrived in Chicago, thanks to a draft day trade by the Chicago Bulls and the Seattle Supersonics, Michael Jordan was arguably already the best player in the NBA. Jordan had already won the Rookie of the Year award, set the playoff scoring record with 63 points, and averaged 37.1 points per game in a season. Despite the incredible play by Jordan, he didn't see much success on the team level. Jordan needed help.
It's something I wondered. I thought I was going to see from James Harden eventually, but I don't think I'm gonna, unless this is the year and he's going to prove me wrong. But Jordan figured out he wanted to prove it as an individual, and he did it. Kobe went through this phase after Shaq left as well. He just wanted to prove he's the best out there. And then after that, he was like, well, I want to freaking win. So what do I got to do to win now? And that was it. He got addicted to winning after that. But I always wanted to see James Harden do that. Just check the ego and try and win championships.
And the Bulls, along with Jordan, realized the potential Pippen had, and this led to Jordan taking Pippen under his wing and mentoring him.
Yep.
Even though his body wasn't there, you could see signs, Jordan once said about Pippen. As an open court player, he was so much like Dr. J. He'd get the ball on the break with those long
Hey.
strides, and next thing you know, he's at the basket.
Yeah, those
I
long
think it
arms,
took
man.
people by surprise.
I always related to Pippen because I've got freakishly long arms. So on basketball, like when it comes to just especially defense, like long arms came. I watched Pippen a lot. I learned a lot from Pip as far as how to reach in properly and then how to go for those blocks.
To see how quickly he progressed.
Sorry, I'm gonna be pausing this shit all the time because this is my childhood here.
And how his body responded to the style of play. The Jordan-Pippen partnership was one of the most successful in NBA history as they led the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships in the 1990s.
6 for 6.
From the outside, it appeared that Jordan and Pippen had a great relationship.
Nice feed.
In fact, you'd just assume they were best friends. It would make sense since these two dynamic stars gelled so well together on the court, they probably built that connection by hanging off the court. There have also been plenty of times when Jordan publicly supported Pippen. Like when Jordan wore a wristband with Pip written on it.
Dude, his whole career, he has had Pippen's back all the way till just recently. We'll find out.
Or when Jordan won the 1997 Finals MVP award, he gave the ultimate respect and prize to Pippen. We are a tandem.
Yeah,
It's hard to split us up, Jordan said after winning the 1997 Finals.
He said, I'll keep the trophy. Pippen will get the car, because he literally called him up when he won the Finals MVP. He called Pippen up and he was like, ours, we're a tandem. Want to talk about respect? Not like LeBron when he won his last championship. And he was like, I want my damn respect. Dude, that was AD's. That was AD's MVP. Let's be real. Those of you who watched the Disney Mickey Mouse Bubble championship, like that was AD's. At least LeBron could have brought him up and said, like, hey, you deserve half of this. He did. Yeah, he was the best player. He was the best player. That's stupid.
MVP. He means a lot to me when I go out and play on the basketball court. He relieves a lot of the pressure that I have to deal with. I try to do the same for him. It's hard to take this MVP by myself. He's got to take half of it. I'll take the trophy. He may get the car.
How hard is that?
Jordan did,
How hard is that
in fact,
to give the
give
respect?
Pippen the Finals MVP truck, proving the love and admiration Jordan had for his running mate.
That's awesome.
This respect Jordan had for Pippen did not fade even long after their playing careers had ended. In the famous The Last Dance documentary,
yeah, this is when it all started going downhill for them.
Which was co-produced by Jordan's production company, Jump 23, Jordan had some high praise for Pippen. Whenever they speak Michael Jordan, they should speak Scottie Pippen. I won all these championships, but I didn't win without Scottie Pippen. Even with these kind words.
He also said it at his Hall of Fame speech a couple of years prior. He got up on stage and he was like, whenever you don't just see Michael Jordan in those videos, whenever you see Michael Jordan, you see Scottie Pippen. Every championship I won, Scottie Pippen was there. And then Scottie's got to come out and say all this nasty shit. They're currently Horace Grant, this Pippen, Horace Grant, and Luke Longley are doing some live tour. For those of you who don't know, this shit is real. It's called Cut the Bull or something like that, No Bull. And they're trying to tell the true story of The Last Dance. It's be real. It's a Scottie Pippen led hate tour for Michael Jordan. It's disgusting how far it's come.
Words from Jordan about Pippen. The documentary is the main reason why Pippen and Jordan's relationship has turned sour these past 3 years.
And Jordan didn't say a damn bad thing about Pip. Pippen just outed himself. He told the truth about the surgery he got, how he didn't get it in the off. And then he said, I would have done it again. I got no regrets. That's why everybody turned on Pippen. He did it to himself.
In the documentary, it covered the history of the Bulls from Jordan's first season in Chicago to the Last Dance season, which was the 1997-98 season. In the documentary, it touched on one of Pippen's worst moments during his entire NBA career, which was his refusal to enter the game on the last play in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yeah, this was
Jordan
bad.
was the leader of the Bulls the entire time he was playing, and he was the team's most clutch player. Also the most clutch player in the entire league. So it was natural that Jordan always ended up with the ball in his hands on the last shot opportunity. With Jordan retired, Pippen assumed he'd now be the man with the ball in his hands when his team needed it the most. Pippen would be right to believe this, so it's no wonder Pippen was shocked when Coach Phil Jackson drew up the final shot for rookie Tony Kukoc.
There's context that the documentary was missing, and Tony Kukoc prior to this had hit a clutch game-winning shot, and Pippen had a couple opportunities to do the same, and he missed them. So coming up into this game, Phil made a coaching decision, and he made the right one because Tony nailed it again. Tony was clutch. Okay, Pippen was a badass, but he wasn't. He wasn't that Jordan, Kobe, Bird, and apparently Tony Kukoc, Reggie Miller kind of clutch player. It just wasn't. It's just not part of his DNA.
Pippen, who was supposed to be the inbounder, became angry by Coach Jackson's decision, and he refused to play. So he took himself out of the game.
Pip still back here. Scottie is on the bench talking to Johnny Bach.
Yeah, Bill Cartwright let him have it.
Tony. Look out, it's on line. Yeah! Bulls win!
Talk about selfish. All right. There's BJ yelling at him. Or is that Bill Cartwright? He calls Jordan selfish. This was the most selfish I think I've ever seen in a basketball game. Yeah, that's Bill.
Jackson, being the Zen master he was, continued on with the play, adding in Pete Myers as the inbounder. Myers found Kukoc, who promptly nailed the game-winning shot, giving the Bulls the 104-102 victory.
It wasn't pretty much Phil taking me out of the game. It was like, we exchanged words and I just took a seat.
So it was your decision based on frustration?
Excuse me?
Scottie, Phil just said you weren't in because you asked out of the play.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where you weren't involved in it.
Exactly.
When you say
I think the only respectable thing is at least he admits it.
exchange words, what happened?
This decision would haunt Pippen for
But then he'll come back and call Phil Jackson a racist for that exact play. For that exact play. He calls Phil Jackson a racist for that.
the rest of his career, and the fact it was brought up in the Last Dance documentary didn't sit well with Pippen. According to Pippen, the Last Dance documentary wasn't so much a documentary on glorifying the 1990 Chicago Bulls and their historic run to 6 NBA titles, but instead a documentary to glorify Michael Jordan to help keep Jordan relevant in today's world.
No, man, it covered that failing moment by Pippen, and it also covered Jordan's first, his quarter season back when he was and how Shaq Penny and the Orlando Magic whooped his ass. That's what made this such a good documentary, was the fact that it shows the growth, it shows the failures, and it makes the successes that much more powerful. Same with Pippen. That was a growth moment. That was a bad leader moment. That was a terrible thing. But then he came back and won 3 more championships with MJ. So that's not where it ended,
To have younger fans who never seen MJ play recognize his greatness. So, because this was the main focus of the documentary, according to Pippen, the 1993-94 season, in which Jordan was not a part of, thanks to retiring to play baseball, should not have been included. Jordan had the final say on what was or what was not included in the documentary, so this led to Pippen placing the blame solely on his airness, calling him selfish.
That's bullshit. If Jordan had retired and Pippen was leading the Bulls to championships without him, Jordan wouldn't have come back. Jordan came back because he was watching his team lose, and he knew he can go in and help them. If they didn't need help, if Pippen didn't need help, Jordan would have just stayed retired.
This was the exact word Jordan used in the documentary to describe Pippen's actions of waiting until the start of the 1997-98 season to have surgery on his foot. Another take in the documentary that didn't sit too well with Pippen.
This one's big.
Pippen went on the TV show Good Morning America and spoke about how he believed Jordan was a selfish player, he only focused on himself and scoring the basketball. I mean, he was a great scorer, but a lot of things that he did was based on him as an individual. I think basketball is a team game, Pippen told GMA.
He led his team to 6 championships. That means good leader. You know, if the guy was scoring 45 points a game, but they couldn't get out of the second round of the playoffs, James Harden, um, yeah, that's a selfish player. Jordan did what he did, dude. Jordan sacrificed his stats to win rings, you know, and he led his team to do it. He was the captain. Pippen, man, dude, this shit triggers me, man. This shit triggers me so hard.
Host Michael Strahan. Pippen would be so disgusted with Jordan's documentary and his take on the 1990s Bulls that he decided to tell his side of the story in a memoir titled Unguarded. Pippen's tell-all received a lot of...
All right, stick it in the comments. Anybody actually read this trash? I thought about it, but I couldn't stomach. I couldn't stomach it. I knew it was just going to be filled with. Anybody read Unguarded? Let me know in the comments.
Praise and criticism similar to Jordan's Last Dance documentary. In Pippen's Unguarded, he touched more on how he believed Jordan was selfish. You want to know what selfish is? Pippen wrote. Selfish is retiring right before the start of the training camp when it's too late for the organization to sign free agents.
His father just got murdered. Like right up to this. Right before this. His father just got murdered in cold blood. Fuck you, Scottie.
When the backlash Pippen received for taking himself out of the game on the last play of Game 3, even with the backlash Pippen received for taking himself out of the game on the last play of Game 3 in the 19...
And it also came out later on. Guess who never sent his condolences to Michael Jordan about his father getting murdered in cold blood? Scottie fucking Pippen.
94 semifinals, Pippen defended his actions, clearly not regretting his decision. In his memoir, he touched on his infamous decision to take himself out of the game in the last seconds of Game 3 versus the Knicks. There was one person I was angry with, Phil Jackson. Pippen wrote in Unguarded. Michael was gone. This was my team now, my chance to be the hero. And Phil was giving that chance to Tony Kukoc.
You got to earn it. Actually, what the real underlining thing here is Kukoc was getting more money because Scottie locked himself in a crappy deal. And he was always jealous of Tony Kukoc. There's jealousy behind it. Same reason why he hates Jordan. Jealousy. That's all it is. That's the root. It's unfortunate. You don't just earn. I'm sorry, you're not just given the last shot. People like Steph Curry, Larry Bird, Jordan, Kobe, they get the last shot because they've earned a right to it. Because they hit it more than they miss it. Pippen, I'm sorry, man. You missed it way more than you hit it. You know, that's why you were the best passer on the team. Phil Jackson wanted you to inbound the ball because you'd throw the most crisp pass to Tony Kukoc. Get the job done. Be a team player. Don't be selfish, right? Right?
Are you serious? Tony was a rookie with no rings. I was in my 7th year with 3 rings. And, by the way, in the MVP race that season, I finished 3rd behind Hakeem Olajuwon and David Robinson.
Hakeem didn't get all the last second shots, and neither did David Robinson. It's a different part of the game, is taking the last shot.
The most humiliating part was Phil telling me I would throw the ball inbounds. At least when you're on the floor, you can be a decoy. The Knicks would have put 2 defenders on me. Someone would have gotten a good look. By not going back in the game, I did the right thing.
Bullshit. What an idiot. Okay. I just don't even know what to say. I just don't even know what to say. He did the right thing by not going in the game. Okay. He's trying to insinuate that if he wasn't inbounding the ball and he was playing decoy so he can distract the defenders, and then Tony Kukoc got the ball for the last second shot, then Phil Jackson wouldn't be a racist? Bullshit, Scottie. Bullshit.
Pippen's decision
Jealousy.
to sit out at the end of the game tarnished an overall incredible season he had without MJ backing him up. The Bulls incredibly won just 2 less games in 1993-94 without Jordan, 55 wins compared to 57 wins in 1992-93 with MJ on the roster. Pippen also dominated individually. He averaged 22 points, 8.7 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 2.9 steals, and 0.8 blocks per game.
I know. They almost had it that year. They were pretty damn solid. But after that maneuver that Scottie pulled, that ended it. Year was a catastrophe until Jordan came back out of retirement. That's why he had to do it. It was a complete catastrophe. They weren't even going to make the freaking playoffs, you know? So it was very short lived.
Pippen was named to the All Defensive First Team, All NBA First Team. He was third in MVP voting, and he won his only All Star Game MVP by putting up 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 steals in the East's 127-118 victory. So you can see Pippen's point about being frustrated that Jordan allowed his sitting out incident into the documentary, tarnishing an overall incredible season by number 33. This wasn't the only problem Pippen had with Jordan's Last Dance documentary. The documentary showed a side of MJ that maybe some fans didn't realize was there. Jordan was, in a way, a tyrant to his teammates. Jordan was not afraid to scream and berate his teammates.
It did show that, and it showed what his teammates felt about it. Actually, if anybody came out looking the worst, it was probably Jordan because we all had this like aura of Jordan. And then we find out that this guy was like, he was kind of an asshole. You know what I mean? I mean, he was, how can I say? He was like a psychopath out there, you know? Like he was psycho about winning. And we didn't all get to know that. We saw him with the smiles and the commercials and all that stuff. So if anybody really outed themselves for the sake of getting the truth out, it was Jordan. And you know what? I'm rambling so much. I might have to make this a 3-part. I'm going to go ahead and end part 1 right here. And then I'll have part 2 coming out the next day. So thanks for watching, you guys. We'll get to part 2 shortly after this. Leave some comments down below. Let's talk about what's to come. This is a cool video, by the way. Cool video so far. Old school basketball, well done. All right. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.